Greetings and salutations, folks. Another episode of Not a Linux Guru Guy, and today we're going to take a look at Elementary OS. It's a distro I intended to do at one point, but I thought I had to pay money for it, but I learned later that I didn't have to. So I put in zero amount in for the thing, which I'll show you here in a minute. We'll check it out on the other side of the intro. And we're back to talk about Elementary OS, but before we do that, I have something I want to say about Gunda. I finally got my Gunda Linux in my living room working on the printer. Yay! So yeah, there's a lot of work and trouble, but probably wasn't good for a new user who's not familiar with Linux to set it up. So there you go. Yeah, Gunda probably isn't the ideal one for a new Linux user, just coming over Windows or Apple or something like that. But it is a good distro. I'll give it that. And once I get the printer and all that set up and I'm done with it, and I can just let it run. So I've got Gunda on my living room desktop out there. I've got Linux Mint for my primary OS on my main laptop over here. I got Fedora still over there. I haven't changed any of those yet. Today we're going to take a look at Elementary OS, the OS that I mentioned back in my 2020 top 10 distros through 2020, and yeah, and I put it at number 9, I think, if I remember correctly, because it had to pay for it, or at least thought you did. I thought that, but I would, even though you don't have to. I learned later, you can just hit custom amount and put in 0, and it'll still let you download it and all that good stuff. And it's what I did this time to get the copy of Elementary that I'm looking at today. I kind of felt a little guilty anyway, still, when I was putting in 0 amount, but on the other hand, I don't intend to keep it, so I'm going to, as soon as this is over, I'm going to delete it off my virtual boxes, and that's going to be the end of it. But yeah, you don't have to pay money for it, but of course they want you to. I think they do that because they're hoping you'll just click on 10 or 20 or 50 or whatever the amounts they have up there. You can donate to them. Of course, once you install it and you like it and you want to use it all the time, it's a good idea to go ahead and donate, since people need money to keep working. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not opposed to paying for it, but I'm still kind of antsy about having to hit the $0 on it, and it makes you feel guilty, you know. So yeah, it's for trying it out. So anyway, I got it in, and let's go over to the screen down below and you can take a peek at it. See what I'm talking about. We are on Elementary OS website, and you see what I'm talking about here. They want you to hit $10, $20, or $30 of preset in here if you want to pay for it. Now, it doesn't really ever say that you have to hit it, but it says custom here. So you can put in whatever you want to pay for it. So pay what you want is the idea behind it. You can pay $0, or you can pay $30, or you can put in $100 if you wanted to. I'm sure they wouldn't bat an eye and say that's a good idea. But anyway, I put in 0 and downloaded Elementary OS. Now I'm going to do one on Manjaro, and I'm kind of doing a new thing right now. Now I'm evaluating OSs that are based that are said to be good for beginner Linux distros, beginners. So I wanted to evaluate Element2S on that basis to see how good it works, and I'm going to tell you. So I downloaded this thing and I installed it on my VirtualBox and GNOME boxes. Actually, we're going to see how good it is for new users. All right. Here's Element2S at desktop, and this is what it looks like out of the box when you bring it up. Now, does it have other wallpapers on here? Sure. You go down to settings and system settings in here, and you have to go to desktop right there. And the first thing is wallpapers. And it's on the first thing you enter. This thing has got several mountain views and some of the classics, as well as down here. It's got the one that it defaults to. It's got that one, flowers. It's even got a black screen. If you just want a black blank screen showing all the time, you can use that too. First distro I've ever seen do that. Interesting. So anyway, I probably select this one a bit ahead of the time, since I'm a space person, science fiction author, and that looks cool to me. So yeah. And what you want to do here, though, is over here you have your applications, which is sort of gnomish like, gnome. Except you can either have it this way or you can have it this way. More gnomish like, and it spreads out not all over the screen like GNOME does, but it's still sort of like, you go through here and see what the programs they have on here. Now, one of the things I mentioned on this is that there's not much programs listed here. You got calculator, screenshots, graphic, photos, you got Epiphany, mail. Epiphany, I've never really used a browser before. But Office, you have a calendar, that's all you got there. Pretty bare bones system you get here. Now, the interesting thing is that it did have a bare bones version. This is pretty bare bones to me. I selected the other version, I think, unless I'm confusing with Manjaro, which I looked at right before this one, because I was going to install Manjaro and test that one out, but something's wrong with our download function today. I'll come back to that one later. Anyway, sound, video. Got a camera, music, videos. And of course you have your system tools, which is terminal, multitasking view, files, app center. I'm curious what this multitasking is. Okay. I guess it's workspace type thing, probably what it is, yeah. So anyway, you have all these applications that you can look at. So you can download all the ones you want on there. If you want LibreOffice for your office manager, you can do that one. If you don't like Epiphany browser, which let me bring that up real quick and see what that looks like. And let's see, let's go to www.google.com. There's your Google. Comes up pretty fast, pretty quick. And let's try another site just to see what it looks like. This is my personal author site, in case you're wondering. Ta-da! Writer of Extraordinary Worlds. Go buy my books, yeah. So, yeah, it looks pretty good, pretty overall. And you notice on the windows they have the more Apple-ish close button on the left. They have the full screen and not full screen button over here. They don't have any minimize buttons on it. I haven't checked to see if that can be changed at all, but anyway. Now Seems to be a fairly responsive browser overall. I might keep it if I was doing it and check it out longer. Or I install what I wanted if I wanted a different browser. Also, I'm kind of curious as to what engine it uses. To investigate that a little bit more to find out more about that one. And so the thing I wanted to do is to your users to find out how easy it is to set up things and install things and do all the things you want to do on your computer. So let's go to the App Store. See, it has 16 there. Wonder what that could be. I bet that's updates. So you go to App Center. Here's App Center. Go to Installed. And here's all the updates. It's ready to update all these things. I'm not going to do it now because it'll probably take a while to get it off them. But yeah, you click on Updates or Update All and update all these functions. You can update one at a time. Just update the ones you want to. Kind of a nice feature in that way because like a lot of them you have to unclick or other things. Some of them you do it through the terminal, which I do a lot, then you have to do it differently. So let's try and install something on here just for giggles and to find out what we do. Let's say we wanted to install LibreOffice. That's kind of a big one, so I'm going to try something a little less bulky. Let's go with simple screen recorder. Well, I know what I want to do. Yeah. It's got things down here you can look at. You can go finance. I was kind of curious, you say you wanted to download this budget manager. Oh, that's $5. I didn't notice that. So yeah, this money. So some of these are pay money for, and let's download this right here. Yes, download this one. It's free. I'm curious about this since I've done bookkeeping before for various companies and stuff. How good this is, so I'll check it out later. So first, it's downloaded. Install anyway. The book is not curated by Elementary and has not been reviewed for security process migration. You may not receive bug fixes or feature updates. May access or change system or personal files without permission. Well, I'm not worried about that right now anyway. Let's see what the install is about. Authentication. Put in your administrator password. Away it goes, downloading, installing. So it seems like it installs pretty well so far. And is your proper warning is probably not a proprietary software. So that seems to install. Now you have applications. Should be in there off under Office. There should close. And we'll open it up to see what it is. Yeah, it's apparently it only come in English. And I'll look at that later on. But anyway, you can install programs on it using the App Center pretty easily. At least it did that time, installed it successfully apparently. And even though it's another language and it's not something I can use. So now the other thing I wanted to do was set up printers. Now I have a question on this one because you go here to there you have printers. There's no printers available. Connect to a printer by clicking the icon in the toolbar below. No toolbar below, and I don't see anything about an icon to add printer here. Nope, no add printer icon there. And I don't see some up above either. So I'm at a loss as to what to do here. How to, where this toolbar is. Oh, I think I see. Right there. Click that plus button, add printer. See, that's not very clear. It's not below, it's just printer button right here. Click that button, and it's finding nearby printers. You can find my printer. No, I don't have an HP printer or an HP fax. Got a brother printer. Looks to me like they don't have the printer itself. There's got to be a way in here to add in their own driver. They all have it, so I don't know what the problem is here. Or maybe they don't have the option in this application. Add in third-party drivers. Okay, since it isn't Mutu, I can use this Debian deb file in order to install the print driver on here and all this stuff. So we'll do that. How about that? We'll see how easy it is to actually just do a deb file install, which is, should be able to just double click on this icon here, and you should go to application. Okay, so this is a problem. Okay, so this is getting a little bit frustrating in a way. No option to go to terminal here. So we need to get that file. Now what you can do though, go back to files, and we'll copy this file. What it should do is give us the whole path name. We can then go down here and plug into here. So if we have let's pursue over here. Control V paste. Yeah, it's got the whole file in there. Man not found, no GDB. If you think any deb files to download off there, you're gonna have to install GDB or similar by going sudo apt install GDB. Say yes. You do it. Go up to this space. Anyway, there we go. GDB is running. Say yes, we want to install all that stuff there. Yes. Printer added. Hey, it automatically added printer. Yay. So now we should be able to go here. Get out of this. Get out of this. There she blows. Printer. Let's see if it's going to print. Let's see. How do you do this? Print test page down here, right? Print test page. And nothing's happened yet over there. Nothing's happened. Computer doing it. It's processing still. Well, anyway, there you go. That's how you just set your printer up, and there's a few complications. You have to install GW if you want to do a third-party package, the deb file. And we're back next day because the video stopped working. I wanted to put a cap on it and tell you what happened. Basically, with elementary, I got the printer installed, but as you saw, it didn't work the first time. So what I did after that is I basically deleted the printer, reinstalled it as IPP:// the IP address and /IPP for Q. I entered that in and it worked that time. But I had to do all that stuff. I had to basically do all that you saw, and there's a lot I cut out, a lot of searching I did that I didn't show you in there, and trying to figure things out on the printer to get it to work right. So, but you got the basics. What I did that did work. You just didn't see all the stuff I did that didn't work. So I spent a lot of time on that printer trying to get it to work correctly. And most new users probably aren't going to like that very much. Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to do is start a series on all the distros recommended for new users that people recommend for new users. See how they stack up against each other, if they're really good new user material stuff. A lot of them say that for new users, but they have complications, or they expect you to go to the terminal. And I'm not saying you don't want to learn the terminal, but the new user comes from Windows where they don't have to go to the terminals and do all that kind of stuff. Probably aren't going to be so bold to start off that way either. So yeah, you need a good distro that you can do most everything GUI-like, GUI from the GUI, Graphical User Interface, instead of having to do it on a terminal. And I think that's one of the things I'm going to be checking out in these videos, is if they have any problems and spots that get messed up on it. So yeah. And this one had a problem with the printer. Also, wasn't that configurable. Pantheon is to try to keep you into a box, so to speak. Ubuntu, it's based on Ubuntu for one thing, so Ubuntu tends to be that way to begin with. Because when you have a distro made for new users that have a graphical interface, they try to put in things to keep you from screwing it up, which you can do pretty easy. And or they try to put everything in that you might need, so the system gets loaded down all the software, so that you don't have to worry about trying to install too much or that kind of thing. You kind of get things up and running right away. It's good in one way, it's bad in others. So, but before you can get to the spot where you can dispense with that, move to distros that where you have to do a little more setup to get them working and stuff. And you need to know your way around Linux a bit. The only way you can do that is get your feet wet in a distro that works out of the box, pretty much, without any trouble. Like Linux Mint, it goes out. I mean, it installs a printer all by itself for half the time. And you just find the printer and says, hey, there's a printer attached to it. And that works. So it puts the network printer in there. I don't have to do anything hardly. But I do go ahead and install a printer in it anyway because I want one that's going to be built in the system a certain way, that kind of thing. So I'm going to look at other distros. I'm planning on doing Manjaro and some point, and probably Peppermint and Ubuntu and other ones. You'll probably do one on Linux Mint as well. I'm very familiar with that system, and I'll look at other distros too to see how new user friendly they are as far as new users go to Linux. So stay tuned and watch for those distro reviews. And if you have any that you want me to review that are purported to be new user friendly, then let me know and I'll do a check on those as well. So put those down in the comment, any distro reviews you want me to do. And also, if you like this video and want to see more, subscribe. Click the notification bell if you want to know when I put out new videos. And click like to help me out. Thanks a lot. And we'll see you next time. May the Linux Force be with you. Bye.